I know what you're thinking. They're not very nice, but they were really not nice when we bought them. It's one of those situations where the more work you're willing to do to put into something, the more potential you have to not only earn money, but also to win a deal. So is this the kind of place that you want to buy? Is this the kind of place that you want to own? Because this is the non-sexy, non-glamorous side of apartment investing, is starting out with properties just aren't very nice and need a lot of attention. We used to call these door kickers because you had to go in and constantly be bugging people about rent, because this is the kind of place where the residents are often living on the edge of paycheck to paycheck, odd jobs, gigs, self-employment, solopreneurship, and it's tough. So that's really what this has taught me about apartment investing, and how a few hard years of just a lot of work and a lot of attention, yeah, you can definitely make money off of these. Is it something that most people are equipped to do? Not really. Am I really equipped to do it? I mean, I did it. So I'm not one of those people who's like, if I can do it, anybody can do it. You have to be prepared for the work. I think that this dream, this passive income dream, that you're going to own apartments and you are going to have all of this passive income and be able to spend more time with your family, is just an absolute myth. It's usually just after 5-10 years of just hard work and being willing to do what other people are not willing to do, which is to spend a lot of time overseeing a project of this magnitude. And it's not a matter of just hire a property manager. Absolutely not. The property managers need a lot of guidance. There's a lot of decision making that happens, and they need feedback on that. It's our job to go to meetings with them weekly, sometimes more often, for us to be up at the property taking photos, having a maintenance ticket. I got a system for being able to file maintenance tickets when we come up here and we get photos of stuff that we just don't really want to be seeing at the property. Following up, making sure that that's getting done. There are good property managers and bad property managers. We're on our third one for this property. They all have strengths and weaknesses. So, you know, in a contractor, they say things like, you can have someone who's good, someone who's cheap, and there's a third one. I can never remember what it is. In property management, it's similar, where there are 3 things that are really important, but you only get to pick 2 of them. Are they good at lease up? Are they good at construction? And are they good at financial accounting or financial management? And usually 2 out of 3 of those, they're pretty decent at. And then the other one, you have to be willing to pick up in-house. So when you're looking at strengths and weaknesses of a property management company, you have to look at the strengths and weaknesses of your team and decide which one of those 3 does our team want to be, either pick up ourselves or be intimately involved in, to make sure that it gets done and it gets done right. What do you think about our new parking lot? I mean, this parking lot was just completely pitted. We had to rip the whole thing out. I think it was $100,000 to get this lower parking lot done. And then the upper parking lot on the other side in that building there was, I don't remember how much it was, another 5-figure amount. And just getting contractors in a small town, especially in a town up north where the season is very short, really challenging. And your property manager does help out with that a lot. They'll bring in their own network, but they normally don't have a strong network for things like new parking lot pours, because it's not something that they do often. They're really helpful with stuff like painters, handymen, flooring, that kind of stuff. We've got this dog park here, which I never see anybody in, but there's enough dog poop in there to tell me people are using it, right? And not picking up after their dogs. So this is a 51 unit building. We actually did have the laundry room over here that we converted into an apartment, and then we moved the laundry room up to like a storage unit over there in one of those buildings. because most of these buildings, they have washer dryer hookups, and they have just been installed little by little over the years, and it just got to the point where we didn't need a huge laundry room. So we took that huge laundry space and the office space and consolidated it into a smaller office and an apartment, and then we were able to put the laundry in a storage closet because not very many people actually needed to be using it compared to the size that it was. And just finding little ways to add value like that. People talk about it. They're like, oh, we added this much value to our property because we added an apartment, which added this much revenue, or we added laundry, which added this much revenue, and then we raised it by, multiply that by the cap rate, and that tells you how much the value of the property has gone up. But what they often are not talking about is how long it took, how much management it took on their part, because the property manager is just not going to do as much for you as you might think that they would be doing. And if you're not willing to step in and pick up slack, that's where businesses will fail, because there's always going to be slack that needs to be picked up. So going into this with your eyes open, if you want to do this as an active investor type of thing and you want to do this as a business decision, not exactly side hustle kind of stuff, maybe one building could be side hustle, but one building is also not going to make you rich, and you're not going to become an expert at it until you have multiple buildings and multiple experiences spread over multiple years. So you just have to ask yourself, it was the right decision for me because I didn't have another job or career that was high value and high paid. And so I'm not here to tell people not to get into this or not to do it. I just want to really help people understand, like, the reality of passive income often does not match the dream that we're being sold through coaching programs and guru programs. It is a real thing. Like, I bought apartment buildings as a stay-at-home mom. It is a real thing. As long as you know what you're getting into, the amount of work that you're signing up for, the amount of stress, the amount of extra money you're going to have to put in. Like, broke people should not be owning these kind of properties because they're thirsty and they always cost more than you think they should. And so being able to inject that capital in on months where things are falling short, or a big project that needs to get done that was either more expensive or took longer or whatever it was, like, there has to be a lot of contingency plans with a property like this. And if that's for you, then come join my network, be in my network. I talk to other multifamily owners. We share resources. We share opinions of products that we've purchased to teach us, or management products. And if you're looking at this and you think to yourself, this is not exactly what I was expecting when that guru sold me that high price coaching program, then just be a passive investor. There are so many opportunities. We have, I think, 9 or 10 maybe passive investors on this project, and we pay out distributions when we can, and on months where there's no extra money, we don't pay out distributions. So going into a passive investor takes some eyes wide open as well. But at the same time, it's a whole lot easier just to say, hey, where's my money, when am I getting paid, and how much am I getting paid, than it is to take on a project of this magnitude. So are you active? Are you passive? Which way would you rather go? Tell me in the comments below. And either way, whichever way that you decide, reach out, investwithemma.com, and I can talk you through it, introduce you to people who can get you into the right bucket for this kind of stuff, and get you going on the right path. I do enough of this apartment investing for tax purposes because I need the depreciation to offset my active income because I'm a real estate professional. So all of my passive, how can I say this? The depreciation offsets my passive income. It does that for everybody. But if you want the depreciation to offset your active income, your W-2 or interest income that you're getting, or another job or business that you have, maybe you're earning consulting fees, any kind of active income, ordinary earned income, then you need to be a real estate professional, full-time real estate professional, or your spouse does, so you can offset your active income. So I have enough of these for the depreciation that it offsets my active income that I get through interest, consulting, things like that. And the rest of it, honestly, I like interest income. I just make the loans and people just pay me. The returns are smaller in the long term, but certainly higher in the short term. And you cannot beat the cash flow of those kinds of products versus putting in a lot of work and waiting to get paid on these. So If you need the real story about how to do this, like I'm not here to talk anybody out of it. I'm just here to give people a realistic idea of what it takes. Would love to talk to you. Again, investwithemma.com, and I'll see you soon.